So what's happening, Randy? It's July. I mean, no, it's not. Oh my God, that's what's going on.
July.
I think I need like fish oil in my brain.
You eat fish all the time.
That's not what I said to you. I said I think I need to start taking fish oil.
You eat, okay, but you get fish oil from eating fish.
I don't eat fish all the time.
People who don't eat fish need fish oil.
Okay.
Supplements.
You don't even know why I want it. Why do I want it?
Oh my God. To help your memory?
Yeah. Saying you eat fish all the time. How come I can't say okay? Yeah,
Sushi bakes all the time. You eat fish.
Fine.
Anyway, I'm great actually. It's fucking June, and I feel like summer's like gonna go by really fast, but really slow at the same time because I'm not working. So there's that. It's gonna cost $1 billion to get a fucking teaching credential, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go even deeper into student loan debt, but you know,
$1 billion.
yeah, it's fucking expensive. You know, you have to do the courses, and it's this one school that I'm looking into. They're like, oh, you can get it done in 3 months. It's an accelerated course, and then there's a residency program with Cal State Bakersfield, and that sounds actually really cool. But the problem is that I wouldn't be able to work. I could only work on Fridays when the program actually starts. I still have to do the prereqs for the classes. I mean, for the program.
You haven't done like none of them that you've taken transfer?
You have to. The prereqs are for being a teacher. They don't apply to any other.
Specifically that.
Right.
Okay.
Like education, something or other. Yeah. And then so I wouldn't be able to work, and like it seems like the classes might be like in classroom classes. Like I'd have to go to the campus, or
the satellite.
Because I was like, are any of the classes online? Like, you know, the lady that I talked to, she was like, well, you know, it just depends, and I was just like, that doesn't sound like it's gonna work for me, but it sounds really interesting, and it's like an African American, like I think it's called the Black Educators something or other. You know, basically it focuses on students, African American students, and like. Because I guess, you know, there's a need for teachers who can specialize with African-American students. I don't know. But it sounds interesting, but I don't think it's going to work for me, which is, you know. And then there's another one. I'm like, it's just, and it's so expensive. I think the least expensive one would be at Cal State Bakersfield. But it's not going to work for me because I won't be able to work.
You can't like do classes like over the summer? Or like during like
their fall, like
they're
the
awful.
The one is at UMass Global. They have classes during the summer.
Jamal
It's
just signed up for
expensive.
something for UMass Global in August. He's gonna get his, I don't want to say therapy certificate, but something along that lines, so he could be a counselor with UMass. And then since he is a CSEA employee, and
They'll pay for it.
they won't pay for it all, but there's like grants and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was looking into that because they actually have a program where you can do the teaching credential through CSE, and they have it's not a scholarship, but it's like a grant. They have a specific school that you go to.
Oh, okay.
It's like a University of Ohio. It's like they're contracted with them, so it will cover all of the fees, even if you don't like your financial aid doesn't cover it all. They will cover the rest.
But you have to be CSEA.
You have to be CSEA, and I was like trying to contact like the CSEA people. I was like, do you guys cover substitute teachers? Like, can we join your union? Apparently they do up north in fucking San Francisco, but they don't here.
Yeah.
And they do in
because you're classified.
Tulare County, but they don't here. And I'm just like, fuck. So that would have been, you know, optimal.
Or you could take a position, a classified position, and then you could sign up.
Yeah, but I'd have to like find one.
They're always hiring classified everywhere.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be like either like a part-time job, or even if you like did like the after-school program, and you go in like a little before school's over and, after 6 or whatever. I think that's a good position, and that does qualify for CSEA.
Oh, it does.
If there's teachers and then there's CSEA, so
Right.
and then there's like admin, of course, they don't count.
Right.
But you're either a teacher, admin, or you're CSEA.
Yeah. I think the issue I was having with that was that, like, they get paid $16 an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty trash.
And I was like, what the fuck?
They don't have to be here. Go somewhere else. But yeah, it's like under minimum wage.
Yeah. And I was like, how is that even? But it's a school district, so it's just like, I was like, what?
They're like, oh, but don't worry, you can take like 10 steps and then you'll make $17 an hour in 10 years. Like, what the
Exactly.
fuck? Why would I do this to myself? Anyway.
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Oh my God. I went to the gym yesterday.
Oh, that's fun. I really want to go to the gym.
Cool. So I signed up for this weight loss challenge thing with the gym, and I didn't want it. I didn't want to sign up. Yeah, I signed up begrudgingly because 3 different people asked me about it. I was like, I don't want to.
Coerced.
Yeah, I don't want to because I know I'm not going to win, and I like to win, and I don't want to give you guys $25.
Why won't you win?
I'm not dedicated enough. I'm not disciplined. Like, at all. Like, you have to, like, stop drinking. You have to go and work out. You have to, like, bust a sweat. You have to, like, be in routine. Anyway, I went to the gym yesterday. And at 5 a.m., I do 5 a.m. And it was like I want to say, like, circuits, but we were just doing a lot of fucking mountain climbers, push-ups, running, sit-ups, and jumping jacks. Like, a lot of those. And my body is fucking sore today. Like, I used no weights. And all the push-ups I was doing yesterday, like, my arms and my pits hurt.
Yep.
Like, my legs are a little sore, which is good. My problem is, like, I like to have a glass of wine every day. And, like, if you want to lose weight, you can't drink. Or you have to, like, eat right, and it's so exhausting. So I'm just like, I'm not going to win. Why am I doing this? Because, like...
You should have said, no, I'm not signing up.
Brandy, I told people, no. And then Liz accosts me at the event at the high school, and she's like, why didn't you sign up? You're the only person that didn't sign up for the challenge. And I was like...
Because I don't want to participate.
And I want to win, and I'm not going to win. So I don't want to be a part of that.
I don't want to commit to losing.
Exactly. Or I have to, like, try really hard. Like, I've been juicing this past week. I've been making juices.
I really need to do that,
and
too.
I need to be more disciplined. So that's what's going on with me, like... Personally,
Do you need an accountability buddy for that?
Well, Amber picks me up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym 3 days a week. So, I mean, that's cool. But possibly. But, like, and I'm going through this fucking, like, transaction, one of these properties, and I thought my first transaction was my worst. I'm not saying this one's my worst, but I'm saying this one is, like, a whole different situation. And I cannot wait to close escrow and be done with this.
Did they get an offer yet?
We are in escrow.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yes, we have an offer. We're in escrow. We're supposed to close the beginning of July, and it's just been like such a fucking headache. Like, when I closed Aragorn's house, when I helped him sell his house, it was going so smooth. And even like the one before that was a little hiccupy, but pretty smooth. And I will never take for granted like a smooth transaction. It's just been like, oh my gosh, it's too much. But I love what I do. Send referrals. So yeah, I'm just like, I want this one to be over. I want to get paid, and I want them to do what they need to do and, get gone.
Did they take care of that roof thing, or?
Yeah, well, the guy... Okay, so the roofer was supposed to come to the house yesterday to start work on the roof. I'm getting contacted by my client at like 6 a.m. And I'm like, bitch, I could be sleeping. I'm not, but I could be. The roofer had to reschedule to Thursday because it's been stupid windy.
Yeah.
And he can't work
Yeah.
on a fucking roof when you're hitting 80 miles per hour winds or however fast they were going. So then they're like, well, we're just going to pick somebody else. And I was like, well, do what you got to do. The next person can't get to them till like the middle of July. So she's like, okay, we're going to continue with the roofer on Thursday. And it's like, well, no shit. Great, you know? And so they're supposed to start to work in 2 days to get that done. And the job will be done before we close escrow. But like I pushed out the appraisal to schedule around the roof repair. And so she's like, well, can we push out the appraisal again? No, we cannot. Guess what? The appraiser guy is not hopping up on the roof. He's not doing a roof inspection.
Like what's wrong with you, man?
It will be fine. It will be fine. And so it's just back and forth. And I would just love to just put this one in the book of experiences, put that bitch on the shelf, and move forward. Because I still have 2 listings that need to be sold. I'm going to do an open house this weekend and figure out how I'm going to get that other house in California City sold. I love being able to be flexible and, you know, be here for my children, help out with the school, and, you know, sell real estate. But nobody really tells you, like, the whole stressful part, like the behind the scenes stuff. Like last night I slept like shit because I'm waiting to get this document. So I was waiting to get this document from the buyer's agent. It didn't come. I sent her a text message this morning. I was like, hey, I'm waiting for your document so I could send my document. And she's like, well, send us your document and then I'm going to send my document to escrow. I'm like, no, I need to see your document before I send you my document. This is what it is. It's like being children. And so then I got upset. I called her. She didn't answer. I left her a message. And so then I reached out to escrow. Escrow gave me some advice and they're like, okay. And then also check in with your broker. I checked with my broker. And so I was like, okay, I'm clear on what I should be doing in this situation. Girl. So during the home inspection, the buyers were like, oh my gosh, the house really smells like smoke. It just smells terrible. And I've never gone in there and it's ever smelled like smoke. Uh-huh. Has it smelled like animals? Yes. Mm-hmm. Smoke? No. Mm-hmm. There's a difference. Yeah. So,
maybe they don't know that.
Maybe they don't know. And apparently the neighbor was burning something in the front yard. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
And there's been all these fires.
Yeah.
So apparently the buyer freaked out and her agent's like, oh, well, I'll send out a restoration company to do a remediation.
Right.
So the fucker comes out and is charging $1.75 a square foot to wipe down all the counters and clean everything and, you know, shampoo, deep clean the carpet, throw enzymes on the carpet and run dehumidifiers or whatever. Mm-hmm. $3,700.
What?
$3,700.
Who's supposed to pay this?
Who's supposed to pay this? This is a great question. They want my sellers to pay this fee. And they sent us like a request for repairs for $9,500. And I was like, no, we're not paying that. So then the agent is like, okay, well, you know, I'll surrender a 0.5% of my commission to pay for the restoration fee. And I was like, okay, well, I'll present that to my clients and, you know, see what they say. And they're like, fuck no, we're not giving you anything. Boop, boop, boop. And so I already did the math. And I was like, if I surrender 0.5% as well, we can get the deal done. And they'll have to pay like an additional $300, a credit of $300. They were on board with that. So like I have to give up 0.5% of my commission to get the fucking deal done. Mm-hmm. So this is what this back and forth with the documents were. Because I was like, bitch, you better fill out your document and, you know, and do it right. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got it sorted out. I messaged the agent and tell her. And then she wants to communicate when I'm like, this is what's happening. Boop, boop, boop. And she's like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is my life right now. Let's remove these contingencies. Let's get this clear to close. Let's close. Get your fucking house clean, bitch. You're fucking welcome. And move on.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I got all these fucking gray hairs. Do you see why we haven't been on the podcast? Hey, guys. I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandy Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's both bitches.
Hi, y'all. How you guys doing? I thought it was over. I really did. I was like, I guess we're not making any more podcasts. And Brandy was like, what are you talking about? And so here we are, back at it. If you aren't already, go ahead and connect with us on social media. You can find us on X, Twitter, at Book of Lies Pod, Instagram or Facebook, Book of Lies Podcast. You can visit our website, bookofliespodcast.com. Wherever you're listening now, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, follow button, all the buttons. Push them. Push the buttons. Button. Pull the lever crunk. So yeah, hey, glad to be here. And we're just catching up on what we've been up to, obviously. Brandy.
What?
What are we talking about?
What you want? Oh my God. Today we are talking about some fucked up shit.
Oh no.
We are talking about Anna Stubblefield.
Anna Stubblefield?
If you might know this name from a little documentary called Tell Them You Love Me. Trigger warning. This story involves sexual assault of a disabled person.
Oh no.
So there you go.
Thank you for the trigger warning. Do yourself a favor if this is too close to home. Listen to another episode. We've got a bunch.
Yeah. So my sources are the Netflix documentary Tell Them You Love Me, New York Times, and the facilitatedcommunication.org website. So Anna Stubblefield was a professor at Rutgers University who taught disability studies and I think some ethnic studies subjects. Her mother was a specialist who worked with people with disabilities. So she grew up around people who had all types of disabilities, blindness, deafness, physical disabilities, developmental disabilities, those types of things. Mm-hmm. She was interested in, she wanted to learn, about people who had disabilities. She learned Braille. She learned to read Braille. She learned some sign language. And so, she grew up and went into the field of disability studies. She was a married mother of two, and her husband was a classical bass player. I believe it was bass. He was a classical musician and composer. Derek Johnson is a man who had severe cerebral palsy and is nonverbal. And doctors, when he was younger, the doctors labeled him as mentally retarded. Their words, not mine. And looking at the documentary, watching the documentary, he doesn't have control over his arms very well. His motor skills are not as developed, so he can't reach out and grab something and bring it back, or lift something up and give it to another person. Mm-hmm. He his arms are pretty limited mobility. He can slap things, but his movements are jerky. He needs help.
Okay.
His mother and his brother are his caregivers. He goes to a school, or he went to a school that was called the Essex County Day Program, and they eventually helped him be able to walk, because doctors had told his mom when he was young that he would never be able to walk. So he was confined to a wheelchair for a while. He went to this program that helps students who have autism and disabilities to gain abilities to have social skills, learn a trade, and be able to be employed and live
freely,
independently. Right.
Independently, that's the word.
Right. His condition made it so that he would never be able to be independent, but he benefited from going to this school. And his brother John was a student at Rutgers University, where Anna Stubblefield was a professor.
The brother's name is John?
His name is John.
Johnson.
John Johnson and Derek Johnson. The mom's name is Daisy Johnson.
Oh, okay. Cute.
Yeah. John was a student at Rutgers, and he was working on his PhD. And he was a student of Anna Stubblefield. one day in class, they talk about something called facilitated learning, where a nonverbal person can speak using a keyboard and a screen, or if they don't have a screen, like a keyboard, like, you know how they used to have those typing keyboards that you would like put on the
Isn't that
wall?
how like Stephen Hawking talks?
Stephen Hawking used his eyes.
I feel like he has like a voice.
It's
It's a computer voice, right?
He has a computer voice, but he used his eyes. This is where they have a keyboard and they point to the letters to make the words.
Okay.
Or they punch in the letters to make the words.
Okay.
So it depends on like whatever mode they have. So there's, a lot of different types of devices, and like if not, it could just be like a printed keyboard and they just point to letters.
But then that's also assuming that they can read.
This is correct. They watched this video, this documentary about this girl who is a successful case study of facilitated learning. This girl, she is mostly nonverbal. She, she obviously has some physical and, physical impairment or disability. Probably not a mental or cognitive delay or disability. She's introduced to facilitated learning, but she can point to and she can punch in the letters herself.
Okay.
A lot of the time with this facilitated learning, the facilitators are guiding the hand.
Okay.
So, if I want to, type in something, I have somebody who's either like holding my hand or maybe like just supporting my arm, like whatever severity of my disability would allow me to punch in numbers. Some of them are actually holding their fingers.
Okay.
But this girl, specifically with this case, she's punching in the letters herself. So she's able to speak. This girl ends up going to college, getting 2 degrees. She's very intelligent. She, is able to start to live more independently and do things on her own. So John is interested in this because he's reminded of his brother from this girl's case study. And so he talks to Anna about, facilitated communication. He wants to learn more about it. So Anna says, she'll see if she can help with Derek. She comes to their house and she gauges where he is intellectually. So she sets out some letter cards that have lowercase letters on them, and there's 4 of them. She tells him to spell out as many words as he can using those 4 letters. So he taps the letters. They're big, like cards. So he can tap the cards and spell out words. He does that pretty well. And so she pulls out an Alpha Smart Neo, which is a little, that thing that I have that I spray painted pink that I typed.
The keyboard.
And it's got a little screen on it. They actually used to use them for colleges back in like the early 2000s. But they phased them out. But she has one, and she pulls it out and she tells him, okay, type in letters. And so he types in letters, and he got a couple wrong. So she, corrected him in what letter it was supposed to be and what letter that he pressed. So she said she corrected him and he got it right, the next time. So apparently she said he never made the same mistake twice. Fine. She tells his mom, Daisy, that, he's pretty intelligent. He can, pick up things really easily. And she's like, well, when you guys take him out, he's reading billboards and signs and things like that. So, he has the ability to learn.
Okay.
And she tells him that he's intelligent. So she starts working with him regularly as one of her clients for facilitated communication. We're going to call it FC from now on.
Facilitated communication?
Yeah, facilitated communication, or FC. She starts working with him regularly, like a few days a week. And I guess she works with him one day in the afternoon at his school, the Essex Day School, Essex Community Day School. So one day she's, they're working together. She's like, we haven't gotten to know each other. You know, I've been calling you Derek this whole time. Like, is there another name that you prefer to be called? And so she says that he types out D-Man on the computer. And Anna asks his mom, he says he likes to be called, you know, D-Man, or D-Man is what she keeps calling him. So Anna calls him D-Man, but it's D-Man.
Demand.
Yeah. So his mom tells her, oh, yeah, that's what he had a teacher, you know, when he was about 13 years old that he really liked, who used to call him D-Man. Mm-hmm. So she's like, okay, well, then that's what I'll call you. But she doesn't call him D-Man. She calls him D-Man.
Demand.
D-Man.
He's demand.
And the way she says it pisses me off every fucking time. Because it's not D-Man, it's D-Man. But anyway. So, you know, she, after a while of working together, she's, you know, decides, or she determines that he's capable of, you know, forming complex ideas, and that he's, you know, at first, when they first started, he would type out 1 or 2 words. Then it became a couple of words, a few words, then, you know, an entire sentence. And that she, you know, goes to John. She's like, you know, he's really capable of doing high level work, which is, you know, he's able to form complete sentences, and even though like maybe the sentence might not be grammatically correct, he's able to, you know, do these things and retain and comprehend information. And that he likely developed these skills by listening to other people talking, watching movies, watching TV, you know, going out, all those things. And like John had said that he would read the newspaper, and then, you know, Derek would look over his shoulder and appear to be reading the newspaper as well.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, that's, you know, that's awesome. Because, again, doctors told him that he was mentally retarded.
Yeah. Like, how dare you?
So she enrolls him in a course at Rutgers, which is an African-American literature course. And according to her, that he was interested in African-American literature.
Is Derek African-American?
Yes.
Okay.
So the family is black. They're African-American. Anna's white.
Okay. Anna Stubblefield does sound like a white name to me.
Well, her husband is black.
Wow.
And her kids are black.
Interesting.
Right. So her last name is Stubblefield. His last name is Stubblefield, her husband's name. So, but, yeah.
Maybe I don't see a lot of black Annas. I know they exist.
Well, she pronounces it Anna.
Anna.
But it's A-N-N-A, which
from
is Anna.
Arendelle. Got it.
So she goes to class with him as his facilitator, and, you know, Derek types out that, you know, this is my facilitator. She helps me, you know, communicate, but it's me typing. Like, you know, they also find somebody to help him, like, do his coursework. So, like, he'll be reading the books, the required reading. He'll do the reading, and then someone would just help, you know, facilitate him with a keyboard or a computer or whatever, however. Apparently, his facilitators weren't reading, you know, they weren't reading the material with him. Mm-hmm. They were just helping him type. So when he was writing his papers or everything, these papers were written by him. Mm-hmm. One day they're in class, and the professor shows a film. She says a film on the entire African diaspora. Okay. And the entire African diaspora.
In one film?
In one film in this class. I'm like, so. Exactly. It looked like a film about slavery and the Civil War or civil rights, but
that has nothing to do with the African diaspora.
It does, but it was just like, I was like, you know, whatever. So they're in class, and then of course they have a discussion after the video or the movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so Derek types out something, but Anna doesn't like the wording. She doesn't like the way it's written. Oh. So she tries to persuade him to change it to something else, to, like, you know, she's like, oh,
she's censoring
I
him.
hear what you're saying, or I see what you're trying to say, but what if you said it like this? And he's like, no, just say it as I wrote it. Ooh. And she rewords it when she reads it. Of course. He's like, you know, she rewords it, and he gets upset. And so she says that after, you know, the discussion, or after their participation in the discussion was done, he wrote, never, ever, 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 ever do that again. Ooh. And
do we know what the statement was? Do you know what he said?
It was something like, I have a lot of ideas about them, civil rights and war, something like that. They show, like, because the Alpha Smart Neo, like, saves all of what you type into the
Database.
the little thing, the little device. So they show a lot of what was written, what was typed out on the thing during the documentary. So he was mad, and so she said, she hasn't done it before, and she'll never do it again. That rewording what he wrote.
Sounds like a lie to me.
So at some point, she got him a speaking opportunity to present at a panel on facilitated communication, or FC. Like, they have an organization. And so she got him a speaking spot for the organization during one of their like conventions or meetings or whatever it was. Apparently, people in the FC community, they're all white, and he was the only black person. So, like, this was like something that was like brand new. Like, his brother said that, he was like a trailblazer. I was like, okay.
Okay, sure. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying.
So what was written, what I saw, or what they said that he wrote was, he wrote a paper. She asked him to write something, and she was like, it doesn't matter, what the topic is, just, write something for the panel. So what he wrote was a paper called The Hopeful Joy of Communication. And it said, no punishment is worse than silence. You break out from the silence by giving voice to your intelligence. And by this time, they had been working together for months. Like, they worked together for 2 years.
Okay, Anna and Derek.
Right.
Okay.
And she said that she was impressed by what he had written, and that it had made her aware that this man, her words, this was a man who was very thoughtful and insightful, and that he wasn't just sitting around, but he was sitting around and thinking. This is what she said. And so these are qualities that she would seek out in like her friends and in men. Mind you, she's married, and she said that she didn't have any intention of like seeking relationships outside of her marriage, but she found herself being attracted to him. She said that she considered him a friend, and in April of 2011, she wrote his brother a letter or an email that said, she really liked him and really enjoyed his company, and that she considered him a friend, and thank you for introducing us.
Okay.
That was in April of 2011. So and she asks him again, like, to speak to an undergrad class. Basically she gets him on the speaking circuit. Like, so he's starting to, go and do presentations and speaking to groups of people.
But the machine is the one that's doing the speaking.
It doesn't speak. She reads it for him.
She's reading it for him.
Yeah, she reads it aloud for him.
Got it.
During he's speaking to an undergrad class during one of his speaking engagements. And the question comes up about love and relationships. And he typed, I want that more than anything, but that doesn't happen for people for people with disabilities like mine.
Yeah.
And in that instant, she was thinking, well, you can have that with me.
Oh, I bet she was thinking that.
Right.
Oh, I love you.
Uh-huh. And she says, like, that made her start to process her feelings. And, because again, she's married and she's got kids, and she is like trying to figure out what she should do. I'm married. I have kids. Also, I'm a successful professor at Rutgers University. So yeah, maybe I should just like stay in my fucking lane.
Don't touch the microphone.
Stay in my fucking lane. And so, the next week.
But she's going through some own shit in her own head that, like, I'm married, but...
Yeah, she is.
He has said nothing to you to indicate that he is interested in any type of relationship with you.
But wait, there's more!
Oh, God. Okay.
So, the next week, she goes to him because they always meet at his mom's house. She goes to his house, and in essence, she tells him that, I have all of these other clients, but I do for you. I do what I do for you because I love you. And he types, I know I love you too. Kiss me.
Or does she type that?
Does she?
Oh my God. She's helping him, right? She's his facilitated communicator, right?
Girl.
Okay,
this story is bonkers.
Okay.
So,
I love you too. Kiss me.
According to Anna, he typed out, I know, I love you too, and asks him to kiss her, and she kisses him. If you look at this man, like if you see him, you can see that he's not capable of kissing anybody.
Okay.
So his head sways from side to side. Mm-hmm. His gaze, he can focus his gaze, but his head moves like kind of like Stevie Wonder. Mm-hmm. And his movements are jerk. He's not capable of kissing a person. But that's another, he can't form his lips, and an intentional kissy. It's not, he can't. So,
intentional kissy.
He can't. So they began a relationship.
Do they?
They began a romantic relationship.
Oh my God.
One day, as they're on their way to a speaking engagement, though, Daisy starts taking liberties. Anna starts taking liberties.
Ain't Daisy the mama?
Daisy's the mom. Daisy's driving, and she's got gospel music on because, of course, she's driving and they're on their way to wherever the hell he's going to go speak. Mm-hmm. And Anna, I don't know why I keep saying Daisy because I'm looking at the name Daisy. Anna changes the radio station, and she's like, he doesn't want to listen to gospel. He likes classical music.
Bitch, get out of my car. Get out of my car. You don't touch my fucking radio.
Exactly, right? So Daisy's like, well, we're in my car and we're going to listen to what I listen to. And the fact that this man grew up listening to gospel. He goes to church every Sunday with his mother. They take him to church. His brother John says that when they're in church and he's hearing the music, he's digging the music. He's moving to the music. He likes the fucking music. Yeah. One day, John says to Derek, hey, you know what? I can't wait to get home so we can have a beer and relax. And Derek types out, I don't like beer. I like red wine.
Who was helping Derek type this out?
Anna.
So she's there the whole time.
She's there. She was in the car with the music. She's there for a few hours, working with him.
Right. And then when this conversation or this exchange happens with his brother John, Anna was typing this out.
Anna was typing she holds his hand while he types.
I don't like it, Anna.
I don't like it. And Derek's and John is Derek doesn't like wine. Why would he type that?
I'm sure he doesn't drink anything.
I think he drinks beer because Derek was John was we can go have a beer.
We can, okay.
But he was Derek doesn't even like communion wine. So apparently Derek has, he's an adult. Okay. He's an adult man.
Oh, okay. Do we know how old he is?
When the documentary was made, he was 40. The documentary came out this year, so I'm guessing last year or 2022 he was 40. So he's probably about 42 now.
So when this is happening in 2011, he was probably in his early 30s.
30s, yeah.
Okay.
John is his older brother. John is probably about 6 or 7 years older.
Okay.
It doesn't say how old he is, though. And one day while, Daisy is making lunch for Derek, she's cutting up some chicken, and Anna comes in and she's comes up to the table and she's like, why are you giving Derek meat? He's a vegetarian.
Oh my God.
And
get out of my house.
Daisy said, well, nobody gave me the memo.
Get out of my house. Thank you.
And so, it's clear that she's making these, or she's, communicating these things that she's putting onto him. Like, oh, you're a vegetarian
She's
now.
projecting.
You like red wine and you like classical music. Like, she's trying
You're
to
perfect. You're just like my husband.
changing him into her ideal man, right?
This is why you don't be getting with these bitches. I know he's not with her, but you know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah, basically everything that, like, she was contradicting the stuff that they've been doing for years. And, you know, they were starting to get, like, uncomfortable with her. Because, you know, like, why are you bickering about what he likes and what he needs and what he... You are here to be his facilitated communicator. That's all. You don't get to tell me what my son likes. You don't get to tell me what my brother wants to drink. You don't get to tell me what music he wants to listen to.
Or you can go, Anna.
You are an employee.
Ooh.
Because that's basically what it is. They never talk about, like, if she was being paid to do this or if she was volunteering or anything. But I'm like, if this is what you're supposed to be doing, why are you trying to do all this other stuff? And basically her idea and the idea behind facilitated communication is that because people who are nonverbal are seen as being unintelligent and incapable of making their own decisions, and, you know, their autonomy is taken away from them because they can't communicate. But once they're given a way to communicate, then we learn that, yeah, they're intelligent, they're capable of doing, you know, what they want to do when they want to do it. They don't need you to do it for them, these types of things. So her thing is that just because he has this disability doesn't mean that he needs you to make decisions for him.
Okay.
That's her issue, right? So Anna tells, and she, like, oh, so there's a scene where she's, you know, obviously talking to the producers, and she's like, caregivers have a hard time accepting the fact that the disabled person or the person that they're caring for is capable, and these are my words, not hers, but she was talking too much, capable of independent thought and decision making, and that they should give that person some control over themselves to develop their own personal autonomy, and that it's harder for a caregiver, someone who's been caring for somebody since they were a child, to see them as an independent adult.
Sure, Jan. So I have a question. This like you're talking about this documentary. So all of this stuff is like documented, and then we learn like what's been going on or something.
So it's her talking. It's all of them. Like, they all, John, Anna, Daisy. We get all of their perspective. Yeah, okay. Like, and the events that were taking place. She's basically like trying to insist that he has more independence than Daisy is giving him, and she's told her, like, you know, you need to, she said, what did she say? You need to cut the apron strings, is what she said to him. And then at one point she tells Daisy that Derek wants to live independently. She says, Derek wants to live independently.
With you? With who?
Exactly.
Who are you going to live with?
And so Daisy was like, well, if Derek's going to move anywhere, it's going to be in the basement where John lived before he moved out. And she's like, what is he going to do? He can barely walk. Like, he can barely walk. He can't talk. He can't, do things he wears a diaper.
Yeah.
So, like, how is he going to live independently?
Please explain this.
What
a psycho. Bitches be crazy.
So, yeah. And so Anna's like insisting that he can do it, he can do it on his own, or have maybe an assisted living, but not be with Daisy, pretty much not living with Daisy. Mm-hmm. And she needed to let him be a man. Yes, she said it. Let him be a man.
Listen here, I don't have no sons. I don't have any disabled children. But if you're going to talk to me like that, you can get up out of my house.
Exactly. Because again, what are you doing? You are here for facilitated communication. You are not his psychiatrist. You are not his psychologist. You are not his doctor. You are here specifically for facilitated communication.
And she's a volunteer, right? Or is she?
I don't know if
she.
They never said if they were paying her or if she was volunteering. I feel like she was volunteering the way that she was taking liberties and talking to them all kinds of ways.
Right, because it's like, haha, I got what I want, and you can't really take anything from me because I'm getting everything that I want in this situation.
Yeah,
you're not even paying me. Bitch. I don't like her.
She's kind of hard to like. If you like watch the documentary and you see her face, and she's like, the thing is that it's weird because she's smiling the whole time, and it's like,
I'm gonna Google it.
Google her face.
Tell Me That You Love Me, and it's a TV series.
It's a documentary.
It's Tell Them. Sorry.
Yeah. So, meanwhile,
got it.
Anna and Derek are, according to her, trying to figure out how to tell John and Daisy about their relationship.
Oh, this poor guy. And this is her.
Yeah, that's her. That's her on trial.
Oh.
That's actually at her sentencing.
Oh. Let's not ruin it for the people.
Yeah, so
yeah, I see him. Poor guy. And I see Big Brother. Okay, Big Brother.
I
just had to see what she looked like. I had to see what he looked like. Ooh, I will save this right here. This will be our little I'll share that on social media. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So, okay, yeah. Meanwhile, they're trying to figure out how to tell John and Daisy about their relationship.
They are trying to figure it out.
They are.
Okay.
They are. They're discussing these things, right? Mm-hmm. Also, they're plotting a way to be alone together.
I think you're taking liberties with the word they.
They, according to her, they are trying to spend more time together alone.
Yeah, and we know what happens.
This is what she's saying.
Adults are alone that love each other.
Yep. So one Sunday they're supposed to go. Derek, and Anna are supposed to go to a film festival, and it's Sunday, and so of course Daisy's like, I'm going to church, and so they found themselves in Daisy's house alone. Yeah. They
cover your ears, guys. Cover your ears.
This
is quote unquote they,
in quotations, start kissing. And she says it's hard for him to kiss because he can't lay back, because when he's got these uncontrollable movements, so if he would lay back like in a chair or like on the couch, he would pop back up because he's rigid. Like in the very first scene that we see him, he's asleep. Mm-hmm. He's asleep on his stomach and his butt's in the air. Mm-hmm. Like he I guess can't
relax or
be in a supine position.
Oh, supine position. Okay.
Yeah, on his back, flat on his back. Mm-hmm. It seems like he can't do that. Mm-hmm. So maybe he can. But for him to lay back on the couch, yeah. She can see that he's getting frustrated, and so she's like, hey, what's going on? Talk to me. And she says he types out that he enjoys being with her and he's really enjoying what they're doing, but he's overwhelmed and he needs a minute. So she says he wheels himself. And this is well, it doesn't matter.
Can he wheel himself?
That's what she said. He wheels himself down into his bedroom. He can walk. Like he has to hold on to something, but he can walk. Mm-hmm. But she said he wheels himself down to the hallway, I guess, to his room. And so she says she goes and gets some water, and then she comes into the room, and he, she's like, you're going to have to take control because I don't know, this is all new for you, and I don't know what's going to, what you can do, like, physically, how your body's going to move, or I don't know what your body can do. Mm. And so I don't know what's going to work for your body. So you have to,
take control.
You have to be the one to basically, to
make it happen.
To basically guide me. Mm. So she, they're doing this. And so she says, he types, may I touch your breasts? And she's like, I don't know. I didn't know that that was where this was going. But she says, okay. Then he tells her to take off her shirt. And she does. Then he tells her to take off all her clothes. And she does. And then he types out, I've dreamed about this moment, blah, blah, blah. And they have sex.
Okay.
Yeah. So on Memorial Day, this was in April that this happened. So on Memorial Day, they're all supposed to sit down and discuss like plans for him to live independently. So she's supposed to come over. They're supposed to sit down with John and Daisy and figure out how to get him, figure out basically, yeah, a plan to get him, to live independently. And John is like, excuse me, ma'am, you are getting way too familiar with my brother. Like, who are you to be making plans for him to do these things? Like, like, again, you're only here to be his FC facilitator. Like, what are you doing? Right? So, yeah, John was like,
you overstepped.
John was starting to like, be annoyed with her anyway. So they go, she comes over on Memorial Day. They are supposed to sit down and they're like, it's feeling kind of weird. Like, she's, being kind of coy. And John's like, he was like, if we're going to talk business, let's talk business. Like, what are we doing here? And so then she goes, are you going to tell them or am I? To Derek. And so she takes Derek's hand and he types out, we're in love. And they're like, huh? And they're in love and we're in love and we're in a physical relationship. Daisy and
she just confesses, huh?
Yeah. Well, he confessed it. But she reads it out loud.
Sure.
Yeah. So Daisy, the way Daisy said it, I was just like, oh my God. Because, this is a black woman. Like, she reminds me of Grandma.
Okay.
Of Grandma of Rose. And so she said, she said, Anna said, yes, we made love. She said, what? She's like, yes, we have made love. He is a man in every sense of the word. She said she sat on her hands. Like, she's had to sit on her hands and was like,
bitch,
you did what?
To my son?
Exactly. And of course, they were asking her questions like, what about your husband? Like, how is this even possible? Like, what are you talking? Like,
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm married, but I'm going to leave my husband.
Bitch, bye.
And
you are, what do they call him, a dizzy broad? That's, it's like, what are you thinking?
Dizzy bitch.
Like, this makes no, I'm sorry, like, I don't feel like this that often, but this makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're freaking nuts. Mm-hmm. And there's so many things wrong.
Yes.
Right now. Okay, go ahead.
Concocted. This whole situation and scenario is concocted. She says, while she's having this conversation with Derek and John, with
Daisy.
John and Daisy, Derek types out, kiss me.
Bye, girl.
So she kisses him.
Bye,
but
girl.
she felt awkward about it.
Bye.
And of course, John and Daisy are pissed. John got up and walked the fuck out. He said he went to the basement and he was like, he was pacing and he was like staring at the crowd, like trying to calm himself because he was so mad. Daisy was like, I was doing my best to be civil. Because again, I would have like, get the fuck out of my house. Right?
She would have been thrown out
exactly,
of the house.
And it would have taken everything that I had to not pick her up and throw her out. So, and according to Anna, she felt good about the situation. Like, she felt good when she left.
She's had a break. That's what it, like, as the kids call it, a glitch. They glitched.
It's a glitch.
She's got a problem.
Yeah. So she said, when she left, she felt good about it. And that, Daisy hugged her and was like, yeah, we'll figure this out. And she was like, she looked at Derek and was like, good call, babe. It was a great idea to tell them that and she left. She said, I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. I did nothing wrong.
I've done nothing wrong.
Exactly. She says, I didn't do anything wrong. She keeps saying that over and over and over. So John calls Anna the next day and she's like, hey, you know what? We don't want you to see Derek until you, me, and my mom can sit down and have a talk. Mm-hmm. And then the next day they're like, we're not going to sit down with you. And so they're just like, no. And so then she just starts calling Daisy and calling and leaving messages and calling and leaving messages.
Where's my man? I need my man. Where's he at?
Girl, yes. And at one point, she leaves a message that says, this isn't verbatim. This is what I wrote because this is what it is. Mm-hmm. She basically was like, I'll sign a blood oath that I'm going to leave my husband and commit to being with Derek.
I've done nothing wrong.
And at that point, John is like, okay, something is not right here. Who says that they're going to, sign their name in blood? That's what she said. I'll prick my finger and sign my name in blood. Who's going to, so.
That means nothing to me, psycho. Like,
right. So at that point, he was like, yeah, no, this is weird.
She cuckoo.
So.
Did you hear about Justin Timberlake?
What about him?
He got arrested last night.
Okay, pause. We can talk about that at the end. Because I have not heard this.
Okay.
So yeah, John's like, something is really off about this. And he also starts to think something's really off about the facilitated communication that has been going on here.
Yes.
Because he and John and Daisy were also, supposed to learn to do facilitated communication.
Okay.
And meanwhile, it was only Anna doing it with him. But when they would do it with him, they would get nothing. Nothing was, like, he wasn't typing anything. So, like, John said he would type, like, a word or two, but it wouldn't make any sense.
Oh.
And Daisy was like, you want to see what the facilitated communication? She's like, and I guess she said, had marks on her arm. She said, that's from us doing facilitated communication. Like, he would, like, scratch her, grab her arm to, like, get her arm off of his arm. Okay. So they weren't getting any communication. Okay. So how is it working for you, but not us?
Because I'm the professional.
And we're his family.
I'm the professional, Brandy.
Because all you're really supposed to be doing is what? Being a support. You're not supposed to be putting fingers in places. Mm-hmm. So John goes back to the drawing board and he's like, why isn't it working? So he goes back and he looks for the documentary that they saw in class. Mm-hmm. And while he's, doing his research online, he finds another documentary, a frontline investigation video, an episode about FC, and learns that facilitators can be biased, and that their unconscious thoughts or beliefs can influence the messages that the nonverbal people are typing.
I agree 100%.
So there was a researcher named Howard Shane who, discovered this. He came up with a protocol because in the 90s is when FC first was developed in 1990. It was brought to the U.S. from Australia. Mm-hmm. In Australia, there was a case where the facilitators, there was 8 of them, and the inventor or the founder of FC had accused a caregiver of abusing a nonverbal person, a person who was disabled. Mm-hmm. They were making these accusations about, saying that this person was typing out these messages, and like in graphic detail, there was all this talk of this abuse, according to that it was coming from that person. Mm-hmm. Come to find out, it was all them. They were making this up in their own heads and influencing what was being said or typed. Mm-hmm. So the judge in that case, found that person not guilty and was like, you guys, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Ooh. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be helping people. You cause harm to a fucking family. You're
causing drama.
You caused harm to a family. You caused harm to the disabled person. This is not okay. Mm-hmm. And basically it was deemed scientifically what was the word? Scientifically basically it's bunk. Like,
this is bunk.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's,
I'm in agreement with you, because it's like you are projecting what you want said. Like there's no ethics or, you know, behind it. It's like you're
You're
you could say
ruining
anything.
people, because that was the very first case. It was called the Karen case. Yeah. But it was in Australia in 1990.
Okay.
And then, like, there have been multiple cases since then, and it's still happening, like, present day, that people are, facilitators are concocting stories of abuse.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, as John is trying to figure this out, right, Anna is emailing the director of the Essex County Day Program, Derek's school that he goes to.
Why?
And she says, the Johnsons won't let him see her. They won't let her see him, sorry. They won't let her see him because they're having a family disagreement about who's in control of the decision-making for Derek. And they don't have his best interests in mind. So, do you think I can come and see him one last time in the afternoon like I did before? Apparently, you know, she used to go there like one time a week during the afternoon. So, she asks to go see him. And of course,
bitch, there's been a restraining order.
The director addresses it with John. He's like, oh, well, she's asking, you know. And John's like, what the fuck? Oh, okay, so she's trying to be sneaky. She's trying to go around us to see this man. She's dangerous. He goes to the dean of Rutgers and he tells her what happened and what transpired between Anna and Derek. And the dean is like, what? And she's like, John, make sure you get a lawyer. So, one day out of the blue, Daisy calls Anna. And she's like, you know, I really think Derek misses you. He's been acting out of the ordinary.
Daisy calls Anna. Okay.
He's, you know, been self-harming because he had a habit of, like, hitting himself in the mouth. And biting himself. So she's like, you know, he's been acting out of ordinary. He's been, you know, biting his arm. He's been self-harming. And so can you tell me what actually happened between you two? Because I need to understand so I can figure out what, you know, what's going on with him. And Anna tells her that on 2 Sundays, they made love. And Anna's like, well, can you, I mean, how, like,
how is this possible?
How is it even possible? Like, make it make sense for me.
Daisy's saying this.
Yes. And Anna says, well, you know, my office has enough floor space. I brought in a yoga mat, or she says exercise mat, but I brought in a yoga mat and I laid it on the floor and we made things work.
You raped him, bitch.
The police are listening.
Ah! Got your confession, bitch. Got your ass, Mr. Postman. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do you think
she really believes that they are in love.
I hope they checked her for like some problems in her head, because there's obviously something wrong. Like, I feel like it's like these fucking sicko dudes to be like, oh yeah, I mean, this 3-year-old looked at me the wrong way. They wanted me. What are you talking about?
3-year-old.
You're sick. You're sick.
Yeah.
She's sick.
At one point, she does say that he seduced her. So. Yes.
Oh my God.
So on Monday, Anna gets a call. I mean, she gets out of her car in the parking lot at Rutgers, and 2 plainclothes people from the Essex County prosecutor's office pull up, and they take her. And they're like, we have to ask you some questions. Do you know Derek Johnson?
That's my boo-boo. Yeah, I know him.
And she's like, yeah. Like, she said that she didn't even, like, think anything about it. She thought it was about a student. And so when they asked if she knows Derek, she was like, okay. And so then, you know, they started asking her, like, what is the nature of your relationship?
What'd she say?
And she said she wasn't sure how much she should say, but, like, she, you know, she talked to them for 2 hours, and then they dropped her back off at Rutgers, where she was immediately met with the suspension papers. suspension without pay.
You're fired.
And it said that it was because of the inappropriate relationship between her and Derek Johnson.
You're fired, bitch.
And then first, her house is searched. And her husband's at the house. And they search her house.
What were they looking for?
They have a warrant.
What were they looking for?
They were looking for evidence because everything that she ever wrote was on that damn Neo.
Oh,
it's all stored in there. Everything that the messages that he was writing, because apparently it was him writing them.
What was Usher go? Watch this. These are my confessions.
Exactly. So everything was
on.
on there. They confiscated that, and so her husband. That's how her husband found out.
Watch this.
That she was under investigation for her inappropriate relationship with a person who was disabled, and. The police asked Howard Shane, the man who did the study about the FC and, showing that it was the facilitator that was influencing what was said, because he had developed a test. And the test was that he would show the facilitator a picture and he would show, I'll just call him the client or I'll call him the nonverbal person, disabled person, whichever one you want to use. He would show them a different picture. And so he'd type out what's said here. And so the facilitator always, every time that they did this, it was she doesn't see what I'm looking at. I don't see what she's looking at. And now type out what's written here. It would always be what the facilitator saw and not what the client saw or the disabled person saw or the nonverbal person saw.
Yeah.
It would always be every single time. It was never. And these are people who can't type in words for themselves.
It's all... I'm looking
They're
at a
guided.
unicorn. You're looking at an apple. You say apple. Bitch, I was trying to say unicorn.
Right.
Got you.
So every single time that's what came up. So he's like, yeah, no, it doesn't work.
The math ain't mathin'.
Right. And again, the documentary that we saw with the girl, the successful case, was because she could push in the letters herself.
Right.
She didn't need anybody guiding her hand.
This woman created all this shit in her head. Wow.
So yeah. So Howard Shane, the police asked him to evaluate Derek, and he evaluates his ability to identify objects and to communicate where they are. He would say, touch this thing or touch that thing, and he could do it, but he couldn't when he was pick up the spoon. He couldn't pick up the spoon. Pick up this, he couldn't do that. He couldn't tell you if I was where's the TV? He couldn't tell me where the TV was. You know what I mean? Instead of him doing it on his own, he had to be told to touch something, but if you ask him where is it, he wouldn't be able to touch it. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? If I say touch this thing, he could do it, he could hit it. But if I said where is that thing, he wouldn't be able to get it, to tell me, point to it, grab it, touch it, none of that.
He wouldn't be able to say in front of me or...
Well, he can't talk, but he wouldn't be able to even just show you with his hand where it was.
He's just able to...
No,
before. When it's just hey, touch it.
if you say touch it, yeah. But the ability to make the decision to touch it, without you telling him to touch it, couldn't do that.
Okay.
He said that he watched him, he just let him do his thing and watched him, and he moved around the room, but he would pick up a coat hanger and he liked coat hangers. He would bang it on the floor and play with the coat hanger. Pretty much like a 2-year-old.
Child. Yeah, a child. Yeah.
So yeah.
You're sick. Fucking sick.
So now she's arrested. Anna's arrested and charged with sexual assault of a disabled man.
And
So she goes to trial in 2015. And they deemed that the
2015 she goes to trial?
Yeah, trial in 2015. The court didn't allow the facilitated communication messages to be used as evidence in the court because it didn't meet the standards of admissible evidence. Probably because it's not scientifically valid. I would have allowed it to be admittable because I'd be like, you typed all this shit yourself.
You said all of this.
Because I would have had them demonstrate how he could not do it with anybody else but you. Right?
Make it work.
Okay. So, but I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe it's just, there's the law. You can't do it. But she really believes that this man was like in love with her and respond, like she says during the voiceover, she was like, he seduced me and he deserves some credit for that.
Oh my God.
I didn't do anything wrong. He is capable of making his own decisions. He is an intelligent person. Blah, 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 blah,
This
blah,
is
blah,
the
blah.
type of person that we're like, oh my God, I'm in love with my dog. My dog seduced me.
Ew. What?
Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, you're fucking weird. Ugh. People who have like weird relationships, like inappropriate relationships with like things.
Objects.
Yeah. It seduced me.
That tree seduced me. Like, it's like the deep. Have you watched The Boys?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, you know how like the deep and his octopus, it's like that. Like, but in this season she talks. Like, we hear her. We hear what she's saying.
Yeah, because he was like having like I remember that.
Yeah, like he'd be banging a chick and then like the octopus would be right there up
Talking
against
to
the
him
thing.
or something, watching.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he'd be like looking at the octopus while he was, yeah.
And then it would be like, I remember. I remember.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, you really believe that this thing or that this person is having these conversations with you. Okay, so during the trial, they find out the details of what happened. Like, they ask her and like they show pictures of her office and they show a picture of where the yoga mat would have been or where it was. And like, you know, the details start coming out, and John was like, he remembered one day while he was changing. You had sex with a man that wears a diaper. A man who is not capable of holding his own bladder and bowels.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
So he said he noticed one time while he was changing Derek's diaper that he had all these abrasions on his back.
Oh my God.
That was from her on top of him on that yoga mat. And she was like, she didn't give a shit about him because and if like Derek is like a small, like
I see
small
he's a
adult.
little
Yeah,
guy. He's very little.
And so he was like, she weighs more than him and she's exerting enough force on his back for him to be, getting these marks. Mm-hmm. Like, ew, what's wrong with you?
You're having your way with this person. It's disgusting.
That.
Yeah. This is abuse.
And so when because they're this is a trial by jury, they bring Derek in, and so they basically his mom brings him in, and there's a lady who has a different condition, but she can speak, but she speaks very slowly and it's impaired. Mm-hmm. So like when she talks, you can't really understand what she's saying unless you've been in her presence multiple times to know what she's saying. Mm-hmm. So of course it's written on the screen what she's saying. Mm-hmm. But she's an advocate of Anna because Anna helped her. So yeah, this lady is an advocate of Anna's. Like, she helped her, because literally it takes her 3 times longer for her to say something, so that if she says something, that she better have something to say.
Okay. Oh, and this is what she has to say, that Anna's such a cool person.
No, she's just like, she really helped her, and she's like, she couldn't believe that this the
same person was
that she was accused of doing this thing. Mm-hmm. But then, like she says, if she really believes that Anna believed that that it was what happened between them was consensual. Yeah. That's what she said.
This doesn't say I love you. This is like, I'm dizzy. Stop, like.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, she's like, if this is what happened, she believes it. And I mean, I get that she would, say that because they know Anna as somebody who cares deeply about the benefit or the well-being mm-hmm. of a disabled person, and that disabled people don't get the credit that they deserve for being intelligent as they are because of the disability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, like this lady, if you like just saw her on the street, you didn't know that she was a professor, and you might be like, oh, poor thing. But this lady lives on her own. She's a professor.
Right.
So,
So are you saying Anna's empathy got the best of her?
No, that's not what the fuck I'm saying at all.
Okay, cool.
I'm saying that's what she says, and that's what her mom says.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Yeah. She, gets convicted.
Mm-hmm.
She gets convicted.
There's no way she's not getting a conviction.
Yeah.
Like, this man is disabled. He's not able to consent.
Right.
And you are not speaking for him.
Right. Because so
is that your hair? Or is that a piece of braid?
Yeah, this is a bird.
Oh.
They, so basically Derek was kind of like used as an exhibit, like Exhibit A kind of. So his mom brought him in, she walked him in, and like Anna's mom was like, I couldn't believe that they were using, a person as an exhibit. Like she said that his mother walked him in, and him in. Anna's mom is saying this, that she walked him in, and that he was made to look more, and she uses the word handicapped. Like she just keeps using the word handicapped, that he was more handicapped than he was, and that he was made to walk in a manner that made him look like he had no control over his own body and things like that. And the lady, the professor lady, was like, when the jury saw him, all the women on the jury wanted to protect him from her, from Anna. So, she was like, as soon as they brought him in, that was it. It was over.
Because it would be different. I don't know what would be different, but it would be different if the person that you think you're in a relationship with is actually able to communicate that they want to be in a relationship with you, and that, this is something that they want, rather than you making it up in your fucking head and taking advantage of somebody. Sicko.
Yes, that part. So, during this, they convict her, and in January 2016, they have the sentencing hearing. Well, she was sentenced to 2 concurrent 12-year sentences and lifetime parole after she served her time for 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault where the victim was physically helpless or mentally incapacitated.
So she's able to do these 2 sentences
concurrently.
So it's like you got 12 years, but you just have to do 12 years to do the 2 terms.
Right.
The 2 sentences.
And then after that, you're on parole for life. So you have to check in with your parole officer however often they tell you to for the rest of your life. Okay. So if you live to be 100, you still need to check in with your parole officer.
Check in, bitch. I'm 99. I don't care.
But her ex-husband wrote an impact statement during the sentencing, and he said, I believe she's a pathological liar and narcissist who will do anything to fool the court and seek vindication regardless of the emotional and financial expense to her family or the victim's family. What? Yeah, he was like, fuck that bitch.
Oh, damn. I would have thought her husband like, nah, not my boo-boo bear.
He was like, no.
I know her.
This bitch is despicable.
Oh, okay. Sorry, girl.
So she, of course, appeals.
Duh.
And in 2018, she appealed, and the appellate court sided with her. They ruled that because they could not admit the evidence from the NEO and all the facilitated communication messages, that her trial was limited, and she didn't want to do another trial, so she just agreed to a plea deal.
Okay.
So she pleaded guilty to 3rd-degree sexual contact with a disabled person. They sentenced her to time served and let her go.
Oh, you're willing to admit what you did? Okay. Rapist, Go ahead.
It
Go
wasn't
on
even
to the
admitting what she did.
streets.
It was third degree, and I don't even know what the degree is. Like, it didn't say like what that meant.
That is
It
lame.
just says third degree sexual contact with a disabled person. So yeah, you served 2 years. Cool. You can go now. So now she's living in a house in New York or New Jersey somewhere.
Is she on parole though?
No.
She's done. Time served. Get
Time
out of
served,
here.
yeah.
I'd be
You
so
are released.
angry. I'd be so mad.
Don't ever come back, hopefully. You'd be mad if you were their family?
If I was his mother,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. I like.
Yeah. She is, she lives in a house, a nice looking fucking house, in, somewhere over there on the East Coast. And she said that when she got out, she got a job as a waitress, and the publication, publicization of her parole hearing, was out, and somebody complained about her at her waitressing job and got her fired. Mm-hmm. So now she works remotely. She says it's part-time, but I'm not teaching, and that was my whole identity. And blah, blah, blah. I was like, bitch, find a new identity. Like, yeah. I would move out of there. I would move away from there and change my name. Like, you better fucking move to Alaska.
Like, if you aren't like tied to your current location due to legal issues, they set you free and clear. Get the fuck out of here and get off of Netflix.
Yeah, get off of Netflix. I'm sure Netflix paid her.
I'm sure she was paid for this story, no doubt. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
Move to Alaska or
fucking leave.
Move somewhere else. I mean, yes, she probably wants to be close to her kids.
Fuck your kids.
But yeah,
you don't care about your kids. You did what you did.
Else.
You don't care about your kids. You're a very selfish person.
And unfortunately, Daisy says that there's lingering issues with Derek now because he has become a chronic masturbator due to having sexual contact.
Oh, no.
And he had never had sexual contact before, and that was never an issue. And now he has to be medicated so that he doesn't do that. So, yeah.
I would sue her for that. I would sue her ass for that.
Okay, they could probably file a civil suit.
Yeah, not a class action lawsuit because it's just one person. But I would sue her ass for damages. Like, look what you did to him. You fucked him up. Now I got to deal with fucking whacking it all the time. This is your fault, you stupid bitch.
Yeah. Yep. So, and it's funny because
I'm so mad at this bitch.
The Howard Shane, he was like, I don't think she did this, intentionally. I don't think she was like, intentionally trying to hurt anyone. She really, truly believed that she was having conversations with him. But what, in essence, she was having conversations with herself. So, yeah, it was just, it's crazy. Like, you are really concocting a whole relationship, a whole dynamic with between you and a man who is not even capable of typing a message for himself. Who's not even capable of forming a message to type. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, it's not your fault. Okay. Third degree.
He seduced her. Exactly.
I don't know how to control myself around people.
It was never an issue. She never did it before. But, but this man, I feel like, you know what I do? I feel like because, okay, her husband is black. Mm-hmm. Her kids are black. Mm-hmm. This is her first black male client. Mm-hmm. And I think that she was like not happy in her marriage.
Yep.
And so she decided to fixate on this man and put onto him the qualities that she wanted in a man and turn him into a man that she would want to sleep with, and that's what she did.
He likes classical music and he's a vegetarian and he only drinks red wine.
Exactly.
Bitch, bye.
Exactly.
Slap this hoe. Slap a hoe. You see her, slap a hoe.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning violence.
And it's crazy because when you hear her tell the story, everything was fucking cupcakes and rainbows. Like she's smiling like the whole time. She's fucking smiling, and I'm like, why are you smiling? You went to prison.
Oh my God, jail's so fun. It's like 2 years. I don't have any bills to pay. I don't have to clean.
Girl, I was just like,
nice.
this whole time, and you can see the devastation on his fucking his brother and his mother's faces. His brother like weeped twice.
I'm sure they feel
during this story.
Guilt. I'm sure they feel tremendous guilt that they introduced this woman into their lives, and this woman took advantage of the person that they were caring for. It happened. I mean, it happened right under their noses, sadly, because they trusted this bitch.
It's just really weird.
2 years time served. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, it's quite odd because I mean, this is like you said, people who think that
The weirdos.
that person looked at me. No, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's
fucking
head.
Joe from You.
Yeah, it is.
This bitch is what's her name? Anna.
Well, she kind of is because I mean, she tried to go behind their back to see him.
You called the school. You're a psycho.
She emailed.
Oh, she emailed him.
Yeah.
Oh, you know the owner.
And like literally was saying that it was because they couldn't they were fighting about control over who got to just be the decider about Derek's. I was going to say something, but I'll say it at the end.
All right. Are we done with this bitch?
But yeah, so I mean,
I'm disappointed in the judicial system on this one.
Well, I mean,
what's done is done, I guess. I think it's because it's a black man because they don't care about black people.
Oh my God, no, girl. The judge was a black woman.
Hang on. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
The judge was a black woman. And
the one who prosecuted the case.
And sentenced him, yeah.
But not the one who got her off for like good behavior or on the
appellate
appeal.
Court. The appellate court was a 3-person panel.
Of?
It doesn't say. Probably white men.
White dudes.
Or maybe a one and a white woman. 2 white dudes and a white woman.
Okay.
Yep, so that's the story of Anna Stubblefield and Tell Them You Love Me.
That's probably why she appealed. It's not fair with a black judge. She's hating on me. I didn't do anything wrong, right? Y'all would have done the same thing.
Ew, gross.
Oh, yeah, you can get out. No problem. Go on out there. See what happens.
They just limited it. I mean, they said that her case was limited because they wouldn't admit the messages.
I think if they would have admitted the messages, it would have been worse.
I feel like they would have, because as an attorney, I would have literally put him on the stand and been like, okay, since you guys are communicating, let's see how he communicates, and I would have done it.
Gobbledygook. That's right. Not saying anything.
Oh my God.
I don't know, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so happy. Thank you for covering this. I'm never gonna watch this. I think were you angry after you finished the show?
I was just like, what? Like, because the whole time I'm watching it, like, I'm looking at this lady like, what the fuck are you, like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, because the first red flag for me when I was watching this was when she came and she did the initial,
evaluation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She said she grabbed his finger and was putting it on the keys. He wasn't moving. And I'm like, if you had to actually grab his finger and do it, that means he's not doing it. He's not doing it at all. He's not even like, and then when I saw him and I saw the way he moved, I was like, there's no fucking way that he's doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, no. And again, like my hips hurt, bro. Like from like squatting down, like mountain climbers. Like I'm old. The difference was that girl who got the 2 degrees.
Yeah, she was
typing in her own shit.
Yeah.
She had her own device.
In her own shit.
She brought her own device and she was typing it in. Somebody was just holding it up for her. Mm-hmm. She was doing the typing. And I was like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Facilitated communication, or even like there was some instances where a person would just like hold up a person's arm and they would, do it themselves. And that's not even what was going on. That's not what she was doing. No.
Yeah. She was communicating for him.
Exactly.
Like she had a telepathic connection.
Because she was like, you have to anticipate what they're going to say. Not you have to let them push the button themselves. You have to anticipate what they're going to say. If you're anticipating that's like somebody literally like you speaking to me and I'm trying to finish every word you're about to say.
I hate that. Shut up.
That's what it's like. Like, I'm going to tell you what you're about to say.
Right.
What?
Okay. All right. Bye, girl. Get out of here, Anna. Go somewhere. We don't want to see. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
Ever.
We don't want to hear you say nigga no more. That was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
All right. So what's happening? What's up? You been watching anything new lately? Or you want to hear about this JT situation?
Yes. Tell me about that.
So, girl, I was on Facebook this morning, right?
Because I was on Instagram.
I follow, like, you know, this like sarcastic mama. I don't know what the bitch's name is, and posted something. Justin Timberlake arrested, and there was a link, and I was like, I'm not clicking this link. This is
clickbait,
phishing. So I go to Google.
Phishing.
I go to Google.
This is phishing.
I go to Google and I Google it. Justin Timberlake, and then he was arrested in the Hamptons last night for DWI.
Oh.
Driving while under the influence.
Oh, okay.
And apparently he is going to be in court today or tomorrow or something.
As DWI is driving while intoxicated.
While intoxicated. Yeah.
Because he couldn't hire a driver.
That's so funny. And that's how all these fucking people are like, you can afford like a Maserati and all these fancy cars and you want to drive your own shit. But when you're impaired, leave the shit, get a ride, have your boy, your servant, whomever come and pick up your whip.
I feel like they really think that they are capable of driving.
That's what drunk people do.
Like, I'm fine, I got it raw.
That happens a lot.
Check my fucking keys.
I'm sure that happens more about 90.
I will fight you.
97% of the.
You don't want. Oh my God. Okay, so I watched this doc. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I couldn't. There's another Netflix documentary, and I want to cover it, but it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. It's called the Murdaugh Family Murders.
Oh, the Murdaughs?
Murdaugh. They're spelled Murdaugh. They pronounce it Murdaugh, but it's Murdaugh.
It's the dad who killed the son and the wife.
No. Not them.
Okay.
This is a family who kills people and get away with it because their father is an attorney.
Yeah. The son kills the girl on a boat or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It starts off like it's a whole clusterfuck, but one of the sons does end up killing these girls like in a boat.
Kills a girl on a boat, yeah.
Yeah, that's them. That's,
the lady that killed her own kids?
No.
Okay, I thought that's who you were talking about.
The lawyer dad or whatever ends up killing the wife and a son and like tries to get away with it, and then he ends up dead.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch the whole thing.
I didn't watch it. I was following, like, Ashley is super...
Wasn't it in 2020?
It's happened a few years ago. Yeah. Ashley
like
was
like
super into it, and I was, like, following it while it was, like, happening. And then I did notice it was on Netflix. But besides murder stuff...
I remember now. Yeah. I do remember hearing about it on the radio. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize... But the son got away with murder. Mm-hmm. And then the other son got away with murder. Mm-hmm. And... I didn't realize that that whole situation was them. Mm-hmm. But when I started watching this, I was like, the fact that they covered up a car accident.
And then I think like a staff member dies too or something like that.
It's like, it's fucked up. And so I was watching, I was like, but it's so hard to watch. It's like, there's like three or four episodes. Mm. And I was just like, I don't think I can get through this.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I have been following it as it was happening, like after the dad like killed the wife and one of the sons.
I hadn't gotten that far.
I mean, like in real life as it was happening. Yeah. But
yeah, I didn't put those two together at all.
You watching anything else? Did you watch House of Dragons?
I haven't seen it. No, I have to watch it. I watched The Boys.
Girl. All right. I'm not going to talk about it. But House of Dragons is back, and oh my God, this season is going to be shit. It's going to be fire and brimstone. It's the first episode.
Gets into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, okay, as far as we know, old boy took the dragon, the mom's dragon from season 1, right? This is what I'm remembering. I haven't rewatched season 1.
Okay, you got to rewatch season 1 because
I don't want to.
I did rewatch season 1.
I really don't.
But like he claimed her dragon in like episode 7, and he rides Vagor, whatever the fuck his name is. So he does have this big dragon because you remember at the end of season 1 is he was riding his dragon and his nephew was riding the dragon.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's
then
right.
He kills his nephew.
Yes.
That's how it ends, and so it begins right there.
Okay. So we're not like fucking a year later or a week
No,
later.
it is still happening.
Okay.
And so Rhaenyra,
So it's a war.
it's
Okay.
it is a war.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
The nephew that fucked up his face. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. I want my eye. Remember, he was chasing him about the fucking eye, and it's like you, the motherfucker who started this shit.
Yeah.
You took my okay. You claimed my mom's dragon. And then the daughters go and talk to him about it. And then he's punching the girls in the face. And then the nephews come in and they're like, hey, stop fighting. So it's like 4-on-1. But he's a big bully. And he was going to pound someone in the head and rock. Yeah, you lost an eye, motherfucker. My son's eye. You've disfigured him. I want his eye. I hate her. Allison, I hate that bitch.
Yeah.
She is the worst mother ever. Well,
they're all bad moms. The only good mom in Game of Thrones was Lyanna Stark.
Lady Stark.
That was it.
Yeah. I cannot stand Alicent Hightower because that's who she is. And in season 2, I'm just like, you disgust me.
And we still don't know that Dad said that my daughter is the fucking queen. Because remember, she took that shit to he told her, and she was like, "Nope, I'm not telling them."
Right, exactly. So it's like and just like in this situation, she wanted to interpret it and share the message however she wanted, and she usurped the throne the moment the king died, which is to be expected. They were going to do that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I'm just saying, season 2, episode 1, get into it. It's fucking good.
Okay.
Me and my husband, he took me on a date yesterday. We had sushi and lunch, and then we saw Bad Boys, Ride or Die. And it was actually really good. Mm-hmm. I heard a lot of people like, oh, it's so good, it's so good.
I don't care.
And I hate when people do that because I'm like, you're going to ruin it for me. And then Jamal was like, we got to go see it. And I was like, fine. It was actually pretty good.
Don't care.
I know. I enjoyed it. It was really good. DJ Khaled's in it.
Yeah.
Did you watch Vikings?
No.
You didn't watch Vikings at all?
No.
Have you seen the...
Oh, yeah, no. That's not true. I did.
Okay.
I didn't finish it.
So the oldest son...
Mm-hmm.
He's...
Wait, whose son?
What's his name, son? The main guy.
The original king, because he dies, and then...
Mm-hmm. And then his sons are...
Okay.
So the oldest son.
Okay.
He's in this Bad Boys, and he was in the other one. And he's a big dude. Mm-hmm. He's entertaining. I would recommend it. It's pretty good.
I'm not going to see it.
Okay, you don't have to.
I still haven't seen Bad Boys 3.
I'm telling the listeners.
Anyway, I watched The Boys.
Okay. Is it like
it's
season
the first
3?
3 episodes.
Season 3 or 4?
Season 4, 3? It's season 3. Apparently, it was like the worst... worst
debut.
Yeah, like the worst viewer count ever for any season.
It's season 4.
Is it season 4?
Season 4.
And people are pissed because it's like
because of the numbers or because of the episode?
Because of the episodes.
Oh, okay.
And I get it because do you remember like what happened? What's going on with Butcher and?
I didn't watch all of season 3.
Oh, okay.
I watched season 1. I watched season 2. I did not I couldn't get into season 3 after the tiny guy crawled up the dick.
Ant, the ant.
And it was. I was just like
Termite. His name was Termite.
Yeah, and it was too much for me. Okay. And I didn't watch the 3rd season. I didn't watch Gen V either.
You should watch it.
So that was good. I haven't watched it past season 3, episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, that was episode 1.
Yeah, I was like, I'm okay.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
I guess I can't tell you.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I watched that. I'm actually started watching Married at First Sight. It's on Netflix now.
Hold up. Are you caught up on Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was so good.
Was it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. Guys, I was just like, because I was like, Colin, come on. And I was like, he's going to forgive you. But then, all the drama and fucking the Cowper girl, Cressida. I was like, who the fuck are you? Do you think you're going to come up in here and try to blackmail somebody?
Cressida is dumb.
She's like, I've been to all the printers, and it's not this one. And the guy's like, oh, are you her? Anyway.
Girl, yeah, Cressida. I kind of feel bad for Cressida because you can kind of see why she is the way she is.
Yeah, her parents are shit.
Ass, like I just like, dude, like you can tell she was literally got no kind of affection at all from her parents.
That's the difference between me and you, Mr. Bridgerton.
And oh my butt. Yeah, so she whisked away to her aunt's house. Her aunt's a bitch too. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys just don't love people, huh? They don't love each other. They don't love their kids. So,
I want to know where the Bridgertons' money come from. It better not be no blood diamonds.
They have investments and shit.
They have investments in what?
I don't know, because again, the people in society don't work.
Exactly. So I'm just like,
Like the titles are bestowed upon them by the king or the queen. So, and they're given an allowance. Like they're literally given money.
But I'm sure
from the crown.
I get it. I'm sure they have investments like tobacco and
tobacco. They don't have tobacco, do they? Oh yeah, snuff. That's right.
Right, but like this is happening like the 1800s or whatever, right? And
1813 this year.
Right, so maybe not them, but I know like when the English folks came to the States and they took the Pilgrims and they started like setting up like little communities and shit, and they're like, oh, we could grow stuff. They were growing tobacco, and they were sending the tobacco back to England or wherever, and they were like, oh shit, this is lucrative. Let's get some African slaves to like mine it and do the this and do the that. So I'm just wondering if their money is blood money. I don't know. Whatever. This is just food for thought. But I really do enjoy Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Do you think that Lord Kilmartin's
Francesca
cousin is a lesbian?
Okay, so there's books.
I know. I haven't read any of the books.
And in the books...
You read the books?
I haven't. I follow people who have read the books.
Okay.
The book, it's his cousin Michael. His cousin Michael comes and he has a crush on Francesca.
No. I'm talking about Eloise. Like at the end.
Eloise?
At the end of Bridgerton, Eloise decides to go to Scotland with Francesca and Lord Kilmartin.
Okay, but I'm just saying from the books.
I'm just saying from the episode that you watched, do you think his cousin that's riding along with them is a lesbian?
It's possible. It's possible that she's bisexual.
I feel like her and Eloise were like, hey, we're friends.
Well, in the book, it's a male. His name is Michael. Mm-hmm. Michael gets a crush on Francesca. Mm-hmm. And in the book, you want me to tell you what happens in the book? In the book, Lord Kilmartin dies.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear about it. No.
And Michael and Francesca get married.
I'm going to edit all of that out.
So if you're going strictly by the books, but they're changing it, obviously. Because there was somebody that posited that Cressida is also a lesbian, which is why she hasn't found a husband. Mm-hmm. Because she doesn't want to be married to a man. And that's why she was trying to get out of there and not marry what's-his-face. Even though, like...
The old dude?
Yeah. I mean, no, not him. But yeah. Like, she wanted to marry, the prince. But, yeah, no, not that. Yeah, there's no reason to
I would want lots of children, of course. Ew.
Babies.
Ew. Gross. Oh my gosh, we're rolling into
Where is my baby?
We're rolling into like 2 hours. So Bridgerton's great, and now it's time for House of Dragons.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it probably today.
Watch it, and then you text me when it's over.
Like, damn. Yeah,
I said to Jamal, because he watched it last night, and I was like, this morning, I was like, did you finish watching House of Dragons? And he was like, yeah. I was like, babe! Babe!
See, this sucks because Harrell doesn't watch any of this. I started watching Game of Thrones with the first season with him. We didn't get through it.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
Yeah, because he hasn't seen any of it. So, I feel like maybe you don't need to watch Game of
You don't
Thrones.
need to watch Game of Thrones,
But
to
I feel
enjoy
like
House of
knowing
Dragons.
like some of the story like
Yeah.
from Game of Thrones helps you to understand what's happening with them, because
For sure.
because like what you'd probably be like, why are they like, why is she fucking her
Uncle.
yeah,
Why are
shit
these
like
siblings
that.
having kids?
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Why are they trying to marry her cousin, you know
the
what I mean?
cousins, and
So-
they're very excited about it. By the way,
Exactly,
like it is the inbred of the inbred. Like, ugh,
yeah.
that's gross. But you know, that's how things are. That's how we keep the family strong.
That's how they go retarded. Like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah, a little bit,
weirdos.
a little bit.
That's why you guys look like that. No.
Damn. Anyway, hey guys, thanks for listening. Thank you for being here. If you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe and come on back. That's right. Yeah. You can connect with us on social, on Twitter, X at Book of Lies Pod, Instagram or Facebook, Book of Lies Podcast. You could send us an email, bookofliespodcast@gmail.com. I don't know what you would send it about, but go ahead and send it. Or if you want to get a little more bonus content and have commercial-free episodes, you can follow us or support us on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Book of Lies Podcast. We have multiple tiers, $2, $5, $10. What are you laughing about? What's funny? The fuck is this? Please stop fucking sending me this.
It's Billie Eilish.
What a weirdo.
People keep sending that to her because it's her.
You're stupid. Yeah, do that. We've got lots of content on Patreon, and we'll send you stickers or socks or whatever we've got for you. But thank you guys for listening, and we appreciate ya. I'm Sunny Hepburn,
And I'm Brandy Fleeks.
and this was Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's Bolt Bitches.
My ears.